All right, so Chris Banner here. So this is what I'm going to do. Today I'm going to teach you how to set up your calendar and then where to go get more information if you have questions on how to do so and you can't get a hold of me, okay? So in the previous steps, we've already integrated your Google to the system and or you have gone in and set up a new Gmail account if you don't have a Google account to create that calendar that we can link to, okay? You don't even need to have that. You could just totally just utilize the system to go ahead and send you your new appointment calendars and requests and so forth. But if you're already utilizing something and you want to link it together, we've already done that in the previous steps, hopefully. If not, go back and check it out and then get to this point, all right? So now, here's what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and now that we've linked the calendar, okay, a couple things that we're going to want to do. We want to now go set your availability, okay? Now, quick tip, okay, before we get going in here, I'm going to show you a couple of tips. First, if you have any questions, okay, and you're in the time frame during the day between 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time and 8:30, I think it is Eastern Standard Time, I have full tech support and text to chat with a team that can go right into your system and help answer any questions or fix anything, okay? Or you can create a service ticket if there's an issue that they can't help you with or they can't do directly while you're on the live, right? So I also have a full-blown library in here that has step-by-step videos that I'm going to show you how to access right now. So again, if you don't know this, all you're going to do is just go up here and click on the question mark tab. And let's just say it's something with calendars. Just type in calendars and there you go. All right, how to do anything you need to possibly know how to do with calendars, link your Zoom, all that stuff, integrate your Google if you want, block time off. I mean, everything is in here, okay? So I just wanted to just share that because a lot of people don't know where to go in this system to go get information, and I've made it very easy for you guys to do so because I don't want you to be dependent on me. I put everything in here that you can possibly need or questions so you can kind of self-help yourself if you need, all right? So now, we got Google integrated. Now we're going to go set up your calendar availability. So here's how you do it. You're going to go over here on the left to settings. You're going to go over to calendars. Okay. And yours should look like this. If not, you're going to see a list of calendars here. And then all you're going to do is, regardless, you're just going to go over, find the particular calendar. Okay. And here's what I do. All right. What I do is I basically copy the scheduling link, okay, and then I open up another window and I just paste it in there, okay, because your calendar is its actual little own website by itself and it's got its own link. So what I want to do is I want to have open on one screen or on another, open on another tab that I can go back to, just so that I could see what my customers or clients will see when they go ahead and click on this, because I want it kind of all to jive, all right? And so I leave that open, I go back here, and then I go back in, click the three little buttons, and then go into edit my calendar. Okay, now what's neat is you can create unlimited calendars inside your system, and they all work the exact same way, and all the auto responses and the client notifications and reminders are all identical. And you'll be able to know what calendar someone booked upon based upon your appointment calendar pipeline. It will say appointment booked on my main booking calendar. Or if you, let's just say you already have like a second call close sort of appointment that you want to set up. I've even set this up to have application calendars to where I want to just know that, hey, these are the specific times I have to meet with you to take your application and so forth. So anyhow, regardless of that, just stick with the main booking calendar here. All of this you can customize. So your description and so forth, this is just going to pop up in your notes. Really, the customers don't see that. And then if you want to change your appointment title, I would just change this here. So if it's like Medicare review, whatever it is, leave this alone. Okay, so what this is going to auto populate on your actual calendar. So when you're looking at your actual calendar, the days on your calendar, it's going to show, the appointments that you have coming up, who it is, and the time. You don't actually open. You don't have to open the actual button on the calendar to view the contact, so you can still see what's going on. Okay, And then meeting location options, you'll see when you go ahead and someone books an appointment, they're going to have options to either if they want to suggest or they request to meet face-to-face over the phone or other, okay? So regardless of wherever or however, whatever the option they choose, that's going to pop up here. Go ahead and pick your color for your calendar. So this will be different just for the booked appointments that show up on your calendar. And then what you're going to want to do is, mine's full here, so let me just remove it. Okay, so let me just go back in real quick. Okay, so yours is gonna look like this because you just linked your Google to it. So now what you're gonna do is you wanna go ahead and go boom, and then click on your Google Calendar, and then pick which calendar that you wanna link it to, and then always keep it on one way. Okay, one way only shows your openings, not, you don't want your clients seeing who you're seeing on these specific days. You just want them to see your openings, okay? And that's what we're gonna set up next. So once you've done that, linked your calendar here, your Gmail here, you're gonna now click next and save. And now this is where you get to set up your availability, okay? And your slot durations and all that. And if you have questions again, go ahead and hit that question mark and just type in calendar, and then you are able to get all the information you need to know the differences between slot duration and slot interval. But slot duration and interval, and this is exactly why I keep this up here like this, because what I want to do is I want to make sure if a slot duration, if it's a 90-minute appointment, and let's just say I want to have 30 minutes between, and then I have a buffer between appointments. So you can, depending if you're doing virtual or driving, whatever, you can play with these. Okay. One of the things that I would always suggest doing is this. Okay. You can also put how many appointments per day you want. Okay. And then minimum scheduling notice. Okay. So my weeks are already booked up and packed. So it's hard to just find out today that I have an appointment at 9 o'clock tomorrow, because I have no idea where I'm going to be at that point. So minimum scheduling notice means that if someone looks at your calendar right now, so if you see I have mine set at 5 days, you'll see that the first opening that I show is not going to be until next Thursday if I'm looking at this now. Okay. So you could set that up differently, 2 days, 3 days, however you want to go ahead and do that. You could play with that. And then also date range is how long you have. So you can see I had that set at 60 days. So you could see I have 60 days worth of openings available. Past that, it doesn't show anything, okay? So depending on the type of book that you have or who you're gonna be sending this calendar to, if it's more for new leads and stuff like that, you may wanna set this up where you only have like a 5 or 6 day window that they can pick from as an opening, and that's as far as it goes. If you're just trying to get set up for, say, AEP and so forth, you may wanna stick this out to 90 days, whatever the case may be, all right? So I'm gonna leave mine at 60. That should get me through to the end of the year. And then basically now you get to pick the days that you want and your hours, okay? So what I would suggest too is this, again, depending on your situation, if you are dealing with younger people or clients that are still working, okay? Because there are a lot of 65-year-olds and so forth that still are. In my experience, I've been using auto scheduling now for about 10 years. And if a person, again, people want to just click and grab and click and then pick a time and just get it over with and move on to the next thing. It's on their checklist what they got to do today. Book appointment with Medicare guy, right? But if they grab your digital business card and they open up your calendar and you don't see any openings that, or they don't see any openings that will work for you, I've done a couple of things because I've actually seen people go this far and then not book. And I've reached out to them direct and they were like, well, you didn't have a time on your opening. So as in openings that worked with me. So I basically went with someone else, whatever the case may be. So you'll see on the digital business card, I have a button there that says, if you do not find a time that works for you, click here and call me and I'll make it work. But my suggestion is this, is you may want to have 1 or 2 days during the week that you do work those later hours or have openings or even on the weekend. So let's just say for me, I know I got to go pick up the kids at 3. So I'm going to probably shut my calendar off at 2:30 on this day here. Okay, or 2 p.m. That gives me time to get home, do that. And then what I do is I start my second shift. All right, so my next shift might start at, say, 7 p.m., okay, and go until 9. All right. And so that would give me that second shift of another opportunity to get people that are still working or can only see us late at night, an opening at that time during those days. Got it? All right, same thing for the weekend. So go ahead and set up your calendar how you want. So if I'm looking here, I'm just going to go and just say I want my first. And again, these are just for my reviews. So, I'm not going to be worried. My reviews with these guys, because I got most of my clients on supplements, got no problems. We just do their drugs and that's it. And it takes a couple minutes per client to go ahead and knock what I got to knock out. So, okay, save. Looks good. All right, now the next part here, you don't have to worry about anything. It should be set up to have this. So if there's nothing in this section here, you want to make sure that it's set up to main calendar meeting location form. So this is what gives them those other options to choose. You don't want to touch anything here. All your rescheduling links and so forth are all in here. And then basically it's going to send them directly to your thank you page when they schedule an appointment. So that will all be preset. So anyhow, that's really it for setting up the appointment. And then to see what it finally looks like, once you've gone ahead and set it all up, all you're going to do is go ahead and just refresh this. And then this is what it's going to look like based upon how I set it up or how you set it up. And again, if you don't like what you see or there's too many openings, whatever, all you got to do is just go back in there and re-edit. And then go ahead and just adjust what you have to adjust, and your scheduling and everything is set. And then what I always do for myself, just because I like to test and test and test, right, is once everything is all said and done, I go back over here and you have been put in your system as a contact from the start. So what I usually do is I go in here and I just look at the tags because I've already booked or requested appointment. So I just remove any kind of appointment tags or anything like that. Okay. So I'm not there. Let's see, I don't have any appointments set. Okay, cool. So I could, I'm going to book one as the client, just basically so you can see, or I could see the test and just make sure everything shows up. So I open up my digital business card, which I'll show you how to get to in some other videos. Simple. Okay. Someone grabs my digital card, opens this up. They pick a date and time, fill out their info, choose face-to-face, over the phone, whatever. They can add any kind of notes. Appointments booked. Here's what I was saying. Having trouble finding time that works? Click here to call me. So I'm giving them that choice right underneath their options. It's going to pop up with, hey, thanks, Chris. Here's the date and time that you set. Has been submitted. I will contact you shortly to confirm and discuss. So now, me as the agent, in about a second here, it might get a little confusing because I'm the agent as well as I am the person that booked it, but I just wanted to double check everything, okay? So I could see here, again, I've checked this hundreds and hundreds of times, but I always check just before I do a blast, just to make sure everything's all working, systems all go. All right, so once we go and you see, you're gonna get, as the agent, a text message request that says, hey, new appointment request from Chris Banner for this date and time. Here's their contact information. They prefer meeting over the phone or on Zoom. All right, and then you'll also be able to go into your pipeline, appointment booking pipeline, make sure it's set up. I usually keep mine set at all time. So it's up to today and goes back to whatever. And you'll see here that I have this new appointment that just came in and it says it's been requested for such and such. So all I'm going to do, if I'm the agent, is click here, go open up the contact. You can see how many times this poor guy has booked an appointment with me because everything's tracked. So we know he did this at exactly 2:02 p.m. All right. On the top right, you're going to go to appointment. Okay. And all you're going to do to confirm it is just click to confirm. Are you sure you want to confirm this appointment? Okay. If you don't want to confirm it, you can go ahead and edit it and you can pick custom times. And this is the exact same thing too, as if I'm on the phone with booking somebody and I want to go ahead and book an appointment with them, I just go hit that plus, add an appointment, and I go in here, pick my calendar. If it's not one of my normal scheduled times, I go ahead and hit custom and it will allow me to choose a different time. And then I can go ahead and save that appointment. and then confirm. Okay. Once it gets confirmed, you'll see in a second me as the agent is going to move this over to appointment confirmed. And then the client is going to go ahead and in a minute here get a appointment confirmation, which if I go back or click on the card and go in, you'll see, okay, hi Chris, it's Chris Banner from American Student Benefits. I've confirmed the appointment that time that you requested for such and such. You can add it to your Outlook or your Google right here. You can cancel or reschedule. You can also reply to this message if you have any questions. And it's just broken up like this because of the size of my screen. And that's it. And then it's also going to send a minute later, only during business hours. So your system, again, will always send an email regardless of the time that a person books that appointment, because it's not going to wake somebody up, all right, unless they got notifications on for emails. It's always protecting you, the system, to where it's only going to send that text message out during business hours, which is between, I have it set at 9 a.m. starting and shutting off at 8:30 p.m. So if someone books an appointment with you at 10 o'clock at night, it's going to send the email, and then it's going to send that confirmation at 9 o'clock the next morning saying, thanks, I got it, whatever. Okay. And that's it. So I hope that helps you guys get your calendar set up and squared away. I know that's one of the biggest things that takes a little bit of time to get going here. But again, I have all the resources in there. You can watch this video over and over again. I'm going to put it on the landing page, so that way if you need to, you could put it on your phone and watch at the same time, if you don't have double screens or whatever, to go ahead and get your system set up. And everything else from that point on is pretty easy. And again, once you know how to do it once, you can go in and change your calendar availability and stuff like that as many times as you want, and everything works the same. All right, Chris Banner here, over and out.